right now on Hoosier News Source. Find out where you can get your flu shot this fall. And hear how sororities went on strike over the weekend.
And I have returning warmer temperatures as well as a look at our October forecast. Hoosier News Source starts now.
Hello and welcome to Hoosier News Source. I'm Austin Rubin. Flu season is just around the corner and IU is helping you fight the flu. Hoosier News Source reporter Grace Franklin checks out IU's flu vaccine clinic that opened on campus over the weekend.
This week, IU began administering free flu vaccines at Assembly Hall to all students, faculty, and staff. Unlike last school year, students, faculty, and staff are not required to receive the flu vaccine, but are highly encouraged to get it in order to prevent the spread of seasonal flu. Many students are still receiving the flu vaccine this year as they believe it is important to get it now more than ever with the spread of COVID-19.
Vaccinated. The herd vaccination is really important to keep everybody healthy, and so this is just another thing that we need to make sure that we maintain the herd.
The process of receiving the flu vaccine is fairly easy. Before beginning your appointment, IU requires a photo ID, a mask to enter the facility, and wearing a short-sleeved shirt to easily administer the shot in the upper arm. If you are experiencing COVID-19-like symptoms, IU asks that you do not attend your scheduled appointment.
I was in there for less than 2 minutes probably. Super easy, just walked in, they told me to go sit down, and then it was over.
You can now schedule your flu vaccination for Assembly Hall through the Indiana University Bloomington Vaccination Clinic website. Appointments are now available October 12th, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., or October 24th from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. IU recommends that students, faculty, and staff get the flu vaccine by Friday, November 19th, right before Thanksgiving break, so you can receive the most protection against the seasonal flu. For Hoosier News Source, I'm Grace Franklin.
If you're unable to attend the next flu vaccination clinic at Assembly Hall, you can still receive your vaccine at your local health care provider's office, your local pharmacy, or another public vaccination clinic. IU sororities canceled all paired events with fraternities last Saturday. According to a public statement from the IU Panhellenic Association, these cancellations are due to a high number of sexual assaults reported this year. The Indiana University Crime Log reports at least 11 reports of rape this semester and 3 cases of sexual battery. 2 of the reported rape cases happened in fraternity houses. The Panhellenic team also calls for the Interfraternity Council to take swift action to ensure the safety of the community. Licensed mental health counselor Ann Skirvin explains what IU sororities taking a stand against sexual misconduct might look like in the long run.
I think it's going to be a negotiating process. And maybe this is if the women are uniting and saying, we're no longer going to do it this way, something's going to have to change. I think that it sounds like they're kind of advocating and initiating their own path.
For instructions on how to report sexual misconduct or support resources, visit stopsexualviolence.iu.edu. Caroline Klare joins us in studio with the latest on this week's warm fall weather. Caroline?
Thanks, Austin. Before we get into this week's weather, let's take a look at what we can expect for the month of October. As you can see, a lot of the country here is going to be warmer than normal through the month of October and a little bit cooler as we go to our southeast and our Pacific Northwest. But as you can see, majority of the U.S. is going to be warmer than normal, especially this red blob right here. Going to be much warmer than normal, especially for Bloomington, Indiana right here. And guys, warm weather is going to continue this week. And let's take a look at our temperatures for Thursday. And as you can see, a nice gradient of temperatures we have here from our southern portion of Evansville all the way up to South Bend, nearly a 10-degree difference. We have our winds coming from our southeast and going to bring us some warmer weather as we come through the week this week. Low 80s for Bloomington here in the next few days. Now let's take a look at what we can expect for the rest of the week. And guys, 80s are going to continue over the next few days, but as you can tell, dropping slightly here. A bit of sun as we end September and go into October, but also bring some rain chances Saturday and Sunday and even possibly on Monday, so make sure to grab an umbrella as you head out the door this weekend if you do have plans, but also dropping temperatures. And as we go into October further, some more seasonable weather is headed our way. Enjoy this warmer weather while it lasts and stay dry this weekend. Austin, back to you.
Thanks, Caroline. Coming up on Hoosier News Source, hear the latest international news. And learn more about resources available to students facing food insecurity. Stay with us. Welcome back to Hoosier News Source. HNS reporter Elizabeth DeSantis joins us in studio for Around the World with the latest international news. Elizabeth?
Thanks, Austin. We start today's news in Afghanistan. Yesterday, the Taliban announced women cannot attend classes or work at Kabul University until, quote, an Islamic environment is provided. This is the latest step the Taliban is taking to exclude women from public life. The school's Taliban-appointed chancellor said they're working on a plan to include women, but he didn't mention when the plan would take place. And over in East Asia, North Korea launched its third weapons test this month. The short-range missile shot into the East Sea Tuesday morning, according to South Korea and Japan. Right now, officials are uncertain whether the missile was a ballistic and shot from a submarine. If so, North Korea would be violating the UN Security Council's resolution that doesn't allow North Korea to fire ballistic missiles. And the United Kingdom is currently undergoing a gas shortage. Thousands of service stations in the UK have run dry since last week, and the country has announced a series of emergency measures to address the crisis. Their military is currently on standby to deliver gasoline to service stations. Not only will they deliver gas, but the UK's Business Secretary Kwasi Kwarteng says they will also deploy temporary military personnel to help ease pressures for supply chains caused by the spikes in the local demand for fuel. And that's all for now around the world. Austin, back to you.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Both IU Bloomington and IUPUI received the 2021 Higher Education Excellence in Diversity Award from Insight into Diversity magazine. This award recognizes colleges and universities that demonstrate an outstanding commitment to diversity and inclusion. This is the 7th year IU Bloomington received the award, and fewer than 100 schools nationwide received similar recognition. The IU Diversity Career and Internship Fair, Hudson and Holland Scholars Program, and the Overseas Study and Scholarship Program were also recognized for their excellence in diversity. Crimson Cupboard offers free and healthy food to IU Bloomington students who are struggling with food insecurity. Located in Campus View Apartments, the pantry features a variety of food options, including special meals for people with specific dietary restrictions. IU's food pantry is stocked with donations and managed by volunteers working together to help the effects of poverty and food scarcity in the Bloomington community. Questions about Crimson Cupboard can be directed to cupboard.indiana.edu. September 18, 2021 marked the one-year anniversary of late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg's death. The day came as a time for reflection of how the court has changed in the past year. Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett took Ginsburg's seat following a nomination from former President Donald Trump. Since her appointment, the court now has a 6-3 conservative supermajority, causing Democrats to worry. The most recent case that the court has seen since RBG's death is the Texas abortion ban. The Supreme Court allowed Texas to ban abortions following 6 weeks of pregnancy, which conflicts with the 1973 Roe v. Wade case, a trial voted on by late Justice Ginsburg. IU had another busy week in sports, and Kara Adams is here with the latest on how the Hoosiers are doing. Kara?
Thanks, Austin. It was a successful weekend for both the men and women's soccer teams, and of course, your Indiana football team. The women's soccer team looked to keep their Big Ten winning streak going this past weekend, and they did just that when they defeated the Fighting Illini this past Sunday. This was a huge comeback win, and Indiana's first win over Illinois since 2019. The Hoosiers head to Columbus, Ohio next to take on the Buckeyes this coming Thursday. Coming off of a necessary win against Northwestern, the men's soccer team also kept the winning streak alive in Big Ten play this past Sunday. Thanks to freshman Patrick McDonald, Indiana defeated Michigan State in East Lansing 1-0. The Hoosiers have improved to 5-2-1 and will host the Michigan Wolverines this coming Friday. Your Hoosier football team got back on track on Saturday and narrowly escaped the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. While it was a closer game than most Hoosier fans probably wanted, a win's a win, and Michael Penix is starting to look like the QB1 he was last year. Penix threw for 373 yards and completed 35 of 53 passes. The Hoosiers' next test comes this weekend as they head to Happy Valley to look to beat Penn State. After last year's iconic win, the Hoosiers will look to do it again. Kickoff is set for 7:30, and you can watch on ABC. Austin, back to you.
Thanks, Kara, and thank you for watching this week's episode of Hoosier News Source. To learn more about this week's stories, you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at IUSTV News. I'm Austin Rubin from Bloomington, Indiana. We'll see you next time.